All right, ladies and gentlemen, ladies, welcome. 147th episode, Collecting Profit. How you doing? How's my buddy John? John, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Yourself, brother?
Doing great, doing great. Kenny Weaver, welcome.
Kenny?
So, a lot of stuff going on. You got, that it's that one time of the year where we actually have all four of the major sports still going on. You know,
That's true.
um, what a series between Toronto and Seattle. I mean, I was kind of
Yeah.
surprised. I thought after Seattle took those first two games, I really wasn't expecting Toronto to go ahead and come back.
Yeah, me neither. I figured Seattle would have taken them.
Yeah, you know, so good for them. Vladdy Guerrero gets the MVP, deserved. I mean, he had a really good series.
Yeah.
That new contract he signed. He's definitely going ahead and showing he's worth it. What is that? 14 years, 500 million, or whatever the heck the crazy number was.
That will make you step up your game real quick.
And then, in the National League, I don't know. Were the Brewers were they frauds all year long? I mean, what the hell happened to them in the playoffs to go out the way they went out?
Yeah. They went out 4-0, didn't they?
Huh?
They went out 4-0, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Feeling good tonight, Kenny. How about yourself, brother?
Yep, doing well. The thing that surprised me there. I know Shohei Ohtani had an unbelievable game the last game to close that game. Struck out 10, hit 3 home runs. I get that, man. I get that. But he was like his play up to that point, his playoffs sucked.
Yeah.
It was horrible.
That last game.
And he gets the MVP.
Yeah, see that? I don't agree with that.
Hey, Larkin, how you doing, buddy?
Logan?
I tell you one thing though, the TV executives in Major League Baseball is probably really happy that Toronto got in, because it would probably have been a pain in the ass for them if Seattle got in and you have two West Coast teams. I don't know the last time we had two West Coast teams
I don't either.
in the World Series, but I was going, man, I mean, would you dare start a game out west at 6, which would be 9 o'clock here? I mean, you'd lose your audience after what, the 4th inning?
Basically.
So I'm like, so you think the West Coast people, during the week, they're rushing to go ahead and get home for games that start at 5 o'clock, so they could be at 8 o'clock here on the East Coast.
So the last time it was in West was 1989 with the Giants and the A's.
Oh, Walken says 2002 Angels Giants. What's up, Matty Ice? But even still, that's wild. It's just it's still what, 23, 25 years, somewhere in that range, so I mean, I'm sure they're happy. I don't know. I don't see. I mean, I don't want to count Toronto out.
What's up, Matty?
But I just don't. I don't know how you beat the Dodgers.
Right.
Because the Dodgers are going to throw out Blake Snell, who can go 8, 9 innings. They're going to throw out Yamamoto, who can go 8 or 9 innings. And they're going to throw out Shohei. who who we see what he has done, right?
You don't think they'll play Kershaw at all?
I don't know if Kershaw will start, but I would think. What's up, Dommy?
Dobby.
Kenny? Maddie wants to know how you doing. You know what I mean from that from that part. Um, yes, Snell's career has been about not going deep in games, but you look what he did, against the Brewers. He went what 8 1/3 or something like that. He came out in the ninth inning. Yamamoto pitched a that if when you look at what um LA's bullpen has been doing for a while, where they really have not been that great. Uh I'm in the old castle, Dom. I'm in the old castle. Like you look at their bullpen, which have times they've been very afraid to go ahead and use. So you could see them trying to push a Snell, trying to push a Yamamoto to get past that part and everything.
Yeah.
True. I'm not saying he's going to do it. All I'm saying is he did it. So I mean, not saying he can't, not saying he'd do it again, but you can't say he won't. I mean, you never can tell. George Springer could come up, light him up at the beginning of the game, and next thing they're having problems and stuff. I think the Dodgers are gonna, their offense is. I don't think their pitching is gonna win it for them. Even though I think they probably have the overall better starting staff. But Toronto just seems to put the ball in play.
Yeah.
The Jays even have a remote chance to hang. I think they do, Dom. I really think they do. They got those guys who basically, just they put the ball in play. I mean,
I think they'll win at least one.
yeah. I mean, I still think the Dodgers are going to win. But I just think that from that standpoint, I just don't I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. That's why, like Herm Edwards said, that's why they play the games.
It's true.
But it will be a should I mean, it has the potential to be a really good series. It really does. Again, because I think Toronto is a little underrated, in what they can do, on the offensive side. I think their bullpen is, good enough. It's for them. It's going to come down to, how do they handle Shohei, Betts, and Freddie. That's, in my opinion, I think that's what it's going to come down to. Whereas, like I said, when you look at the Toronto team, they put the bat on the ball.
Yeah.
Let's go Jimenez. Yeah. So the Giants made news today. They hired a college coach. They hired the head coach from the Tennessee Volunteers to become their new manager.
Wow.
So that's an interesting one.
Yeah, to hire a college coach.
Yeah. They made history. So now, to me, that's different. I mean, I know college baseball players get paid money now, but you're dealing, with 18 to 22-year-old kids. Now you're dealing, with, grown ass men.
Well, it's just 20, 25 to 35-year-old boys.
Yeah.
That
I mean, I don't know. I don't know what his style is.
Right,
and stuff like that, but to me, it just seems odd. Not saying that it's. I mean, I have no idea whether it's a good hire or a bad hire. But the Giants made history. I haven't looked into it. I don't know if he had any kind of ties to Buster Posey. You know, did they play against each other when when Buster was at FSU? Did they play with each other? I don't know. So, you know, we'll see what happens. They do. They do. I mean, they're a good. Never been to the stadium. I've heard that it is beautiful. Never been there. Um, you know, they seem to have good ownership. They have, yeah. I mean, I agree with that, Dom. From that standpoint. Um, you know, basketball NBA season started. Nothing really crazy as of right now. A couple guys. You know, your injuries not. You have a couple of few stars that aren't going to be playing if at all this year. Maybe towards the end or if like that. But that's just getting started. Hockey's hockey. Football, now, we had the show last night, and now we're finding out that Lamar Jackson actually practiced. He might play. Maybe Chat GPT knew.
Maybe.
Maybe
But
Chat
it
GPT.
is not guaranteed, but
Yeah. I heard Jaden's out.
yeah, he's going to be out, which I think is a good move. It's why take a chance of him getting more. Mariota can do the same thing, basically. Maybe not exactly as accurate, but I think he can beat him just as well as Jaden could. Because we're supposed to get Terry and Debo back, so that'll help.
Yeah. Is it the same injury that Jaden was out for? No, a different one.
It's a hamstring, so it's not something like he'll be out for a long period, just probably a game or two.
Okay, so it's a different one. I didn't know for sure and everything. And then the Jets. I mean, it just goes to show you how screwed up their shit is. They were gonna get ready to make a change. Everything was leaning to them to making a change at quarterback, and then the guy they wanted to start, Taylor, he shows up on the injury report with the knee. So they wanted to make a change. Now they might not be able to, and they have to stick with Fields. Yeah, but the AFL is kick. Man, is kick is that one of those new slang words that you kids use? Mariota might help the Commanders. Lockin, you think Mariota's going to help the Commanders?
He's not gonna. He's gonna say no.
Speaking of ownership, Angels hired a new manager in game. What? No, they gave him a 1-year deal. Suzuki I didn't realize Suzuki only got a 1-year deal. That's funny. There is no helping the Commanders, according to Lockin.
Yeah, well, he's a Patty Holmes,
Yeah. So, and speaking of management, I guess the Padres are talking to Albert Pujols.
Wow.
Is he gonna help? When did he? I don't know if the guy from I don't know if Suzuki, who the Angels hired, I know he was a catcher for many years. I don't know if he was in the minor leagues as any kind of coach or something like that. So I don't know about that one. But Pujols, I mean, has he been around baseball since he retired? Was he a roving instructor? Was he doing something that made all of a sudden, hey, Albert Pujols, that'd be a good guy to go ahead and manage him.
Yeah. Well, I didn't want to bring this up because a certain person's in here, but I did hear.
Yes.
That Roger guy is going to be the Mets' new pitching coach. That's what I heard. It's out there.
Uh-oh. Man, well.
I haven't busted on him in a while, so.
The youngster in the chat will be mad.
Yeah, that's true.
6th Angels manager in the last 8 years. Artie Moreno The dude should sell. I mean, in all honesty, the dude should sell the dang team.
Now, see, I didn't say the last name. I just said the first name. Could be any Roger. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, Roger McDowell, the former pitcher. Roger Penske. Maybe he's going to give up, racing.
There you go.
He's gonna give up coach.
Notice I haven't heard anything from the young kid in the group.
Yeah, I know. Youngster, where are you? You kids, your slang.
Yeah.
Stuff really kicks, man. Well, it's good, but I didn't realize,
Love you, Dommy.
Yeah, I could just imagine spring training would be great when Mike Piazza shows up.
Yes, it did, and I have a video dropping, if it hasn't already, tonight that I opened one box. Didn't do too bad.
So obviously it's the same type of thing the design is basically Series 1 just with your extra holiday effects on it.
And if you look at the basketball cards, they're the same as the baseball cards, same design.
Yeah, and I looked at even their Series 1 is going to be the exact same thing. I mean, they're going to probably do, they'll have different inserts, stuff like that, but I'm sure, it won't be, I'm sure it's not going to be very far off.
No, it's not, because I watched my LCS. He did an opening of a blaster of it, and it was almost like it had 8-bit ballers in it of the basketball players.
Really?
Yeah. Yep. So it's kind of almost identical to baseball, which obviously Fanatics, it makes it easier for them when they don't really have to change much except for the photo and the cards and the names.
Yeah.
They're not cheap either. It's like, I think my LCS had the hobby boxes at $230 or $250, and the jumbos were like $399.
And that's just absolutely crazy for a paper product.
Yeah.
And now, obviously, the hype is Topps having the license again, right? So from that standpoint, that's going to drive your hype for the prices to go where they're going to go.
Right.
But it's going to be one of those ones is once you open up the boxes, you're going to be like, crap.
Yeah, I watched them open. I'm like, this does not impress me. Not that I'm a basketball fan by any means, but it didn't impress me at all. Yeah, the design this year, they didn't really. I like a lot of the inserts, but you're not guaranteed a hit at all.
No
guaranteed auto, no guaranteed memorabilia card.
Because you were always guaranteed one of those two in the past, right?
You were, yes.
Oh, wow.
The odds are very hard to. I got lucky and pulled a Santa hat relic for Ezekiel Tovar, which is useless, but yeah.
Colorado hits.
But there was, they have like holiday backs now. Instead of having them all in the front,
yeah,
there's holiday backs. It's a red bar with a little snowflake. It's a gingerbread cookie instead of something on the front. They still have the things on the front too, and they got, of course, you get one chrome card. What to do? You get a lot of snowflake cards, or the glitter cards, whatever you're going to call them.
Oh, like that metallic one, the one that has like the raised, like the not it's not embossing, it's like the raised part of it.
Yeah, it's like they sprinkle glitter on it almost, but yeah, I just don't. I said I'd buy one. I might try one of the tins, but I'm not sure. The advent calendars, they're just too expensive.
Oh, really?
$89.
Oh, wow.
I'm just like, unless I can find it cheaper somewhere, I'm not going to grab one of those.
I mean, though, but $89 for
20,
24 packs.
right?
I
But you're only
mean,
getting, I think, 3 cards or 4 cards a pack, and that's it. I mean, you get the, I think 20 of the regular packs, I think it is, and you get the three evergreen packs and the buyback packs. But so
yeah.
how it
No,
breaks down.
look, you get it. Look. It's the bottom line is this. I don't. You pay what $49 for a mega box, right?
No, 29. The 30 or
29.
20.
I'm sorry, $29 for the mega
The only
box.
one they kept at the same price. I'm surprised they didn't up it.
Yeah. You know, and you figure, yeah, they're going to have some of the higher, but you figure when you're looking at what you could potentially get out of that, what is there? Maybe 10 cards that you could potentially get your money back if you tried to sell them.
If you're
I mean,
lucky, yes.
depending on who the player is. Like, does every player have a Santa? Does every player have a Santa hat relic?
I think so. Because they
All right,
finally,
all right. Well, then that changes it, because normally I know in the past they didn't do that. Not every player had every single thing, but now they might as well.
I'm checking Becker because they finally put the checklist out.
So there might be there. I mean, there might be some card. Some cards you can
You
go
mean
ahead
the
and.
Santa hat relic, right?
You said Santa hat relic.
Yeah.
You hit it.
Yeah. The holiday. I think they call it a holiday relic. No, I'm sorry, I was wrong. Only 50 of them have it out
Right.
of the 200 card set. Yes, there
No,
is.
there is a Santa card. Yep.
There
So I
is
mean,
Elf,
you
Elf, Ebenezer Scrooge, Gingerbread Man, Nutcracker, and Santa Claus this year.
yeah. So I mean, you have to be fortunate to where you could get your money back. I mean, you in one card you can probably, depending on what kind of box you get and who you get, obviously from a metallic standpoint. But what are you going to do? Even if you got a metallic one of Shohei Ohtani, and you put it up, what are you going to get? $3, right?
Probably. There's so many out there.
If you get an Ohtani, I don't know, what are they doing? Are they doing, a candy cane bat with Ohtani, or if you're getting
Yeah,
a Santa belt or something like that? Okay, what is that going to get you? $7 maybe, if you get it out there fast.
yeah.
So unless you get the Santa so and so, or you get Ohtani, or you get Judge, a Santa relic for Judge, or a holiday relic, for Ohtani. Yeah, that your chances of going ahead and being able to get a little bit of money back are okay, but overall, I mean, it's still not going to be. It's still not going to be easy to do. I mean, obviously, you have a shot at it because they don't have holiday hobby boxes, do they?
No, it'd be nice if they did. That'd be kind of cool. But
Yeah. So you got to figure, not having holiday hobby boxes, at least that gives everybody somewhat of a chance. You know what I'm saying? To get a good card.
looking at these, Shohei did not have any of the like Santa hat relics or anything like that. He has a making the nice list card so far that I see.
Oh, wow. So Shohei does not have one of your holiday, either the hat, the belt, the lights.
Not from what it looks like. No,
Wow, that's very interesting.
um, not seeing an autograph for him there. And I don't see him in that list. Just straight up autographs. Does he have one that way?
Well, if you're on Beckett, if you go to the team set tab, you can just go to Dodge.
Yeah,
Just go to the Dodgers and look straight down there rather than looking at everything.
Dodgers, right.
But I mean, let's see. Sean's not getting any holidays. Not going to buy it. Not worth it.
Okay,
Yeah.
so he does have the back one where it's going to be the red back on it.
Okay.
Well, holiday back short print and super short prints. What the super short print is compared to the regular short print holiday back, I have no idea.
Hmm.
He has a holiday short print base. Okay, he has a super short print as well. He has a chrome. He has an evergreen. The nice list.
But you're only
Inside-
getting the evergreen if you get the advent calendar, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
He does have a single player relic, it looks like. So that's going to be your base napkin, probably.
Probably.
And that's it.
Yeah.
He
So
does not have much.
yeah. So I mean, and then who knows how much they printed of it? You know.
I did ask Striker that. He probably would know.
Yeah. He probably goes. They probably printed a bunch of this and everything. And then you look at and they're going to have holiday basketball, and it's going to be all the same stuff. There's no need to make it different. When you think about it, you can't blame Fanatics if all of a sudden, come next year when they have football, that the design is the same across the board for their paper product. I'm just curious as to what they're going to do for their higher end.
Yeah, because I can understand the flagship type stuff.
Yep.
Because if you keep the same, you don't really have to have a bunch of different designs. You have that one design for your flagship, and then you move on to like your higher ends, so your diamond icons, your Allen and Ginner if they do it for football. I don't know, stuff like that where you have different designs, but keep it the same. But the price should not change.
You're right. Their schedule is not great this weekend.
I think you're going to see a lot of upsets.
Essentially, this is the kind of week where you could get them, where you could definitely go ahead and get those upsets. But I think all right, Kenny, we'll be here. But I think when you look at it from their perspective, talking, you and I were talking last night. All right, so you're going to do a series 1. Would you do a series 2 in basketball and football? All right, yeah, you probably would. It would make sense, right? Because series 1, series 2 in baseball, there really wasn't a big difference, right? It was splitting up certain guys. It would make sense for them to do that with basketball and football, especially because they are getting back into it, right?
Right.
But then we always had update, which was baseball, which was like the rookies that got called up early. You don't have that in football, and basketball. You don't have rookies getting called up really. I mean, I don't know, unless you have a G League guy, right? Traded guys. Well, let's face it, in basketball and football, I mean, some basketball, there's not really, I mean, there's trades. Football, there's trades. So they probably could, but man, I think it would be a push.
You'd almost have to have that like a series 2. And how, 17 games, how do you split that into 2 series of cards? I mean, yeah, you get we almost have to be like you have series 1 and then you have like the mini traded set like you had in baseball back in the day. That's kind of what you could really do. Are you going to have because you had the practice squad in football, you're going to have a practice squad set?
Yeah. I mean you probably could have, in reality, when you think about if all of a sudden they're going to push up production, if you're, let's say, not going to do it at Thanksgiving, which was usually week 11, week 12.
Yeah.
Then what are you going to do? You're going to release series 2 when the playoffs start?
I have a feeling they're just going to do like a NFL set or series 1 and that's it. That's the only thing kind of makes sense.
Yeah. I agree. Like I said, for me, I just wonder when you look at what Panini was putting out, two shiny products, right? You had Mosaic and you had Prism.
Yeah.
So all right, so Topps Chrome is going to be there. So you're going to have flagship. You're going to have Chrome. In baseball, we have Heritage and we have Archive.
Right.
Would you attempt to do that for basketball and football?
They might.
I don't care about the base crap. They're going straight to the $500 boxes with one pack of them. Yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah. And looking at the
It
basketball
would.
holiday,
Huh?
the basketball holiday is a mimic image of the baseball.
Yeah.
Minus it looks like the ornament and a couple different inserts, but other than that, it's all the same.
Yeah. So, like I said, it's going to be. That's what I'm curious about. I'm curious about more of what they're going to try and do from the higher end product.
Yeah.
And if you're going to go ahead and say, hey, a basketball holiday hobby box is over 200 for no good reason. I can only imagine if they do a dynasty type, for basketball, what those boxes are going to go for.
Oh God.
I mean, you can't. I mean, because I see the basketball hobby people going crazy to basically what it'd be the first time they would get Wemby on a some of these younger star players, getting them for the first time on a Topps branded card. Number one. Number two, even you look and you got Luka and even though LeBron has been in here forever and Curry's been there forever, but all of a sudden now those guys showing up, on a Topps card, right? So I think that's where your drive is going to be in the beginning for the hobby.
Yeah.
And then then they get you, so you're all set. They come up with one design. You think about it from the standpoint, John. They come up with one design, and they have at least 6 sets that they don't have to worry about. 6 sets take up one design, right? Because you have paper and you have chrome.
Right.
Again, could you do a heritage for basketball or football?
I think you could. I think you could. I don't know how well they would sell, but I think you could try it out to see. Like even if you did it for 1 year and okay, well, we didn't sell that many, we'll cut it. But
no, yeah. I mean, I know because you could go back to the Montana's rookie year, right, and and have that design thrown in there. Like they do the different design stuff.
right.
I mean, so you could do that from that standpoint. I don't know what it would be like.
Yeah, me neither.
From that standpoint. Number two, like all of a sudden now, the interesting part is going to be, do they get some of those all-time greats, those Hall of Fame guys, to all of a sudden now have autographed inserts? Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, Shaq, Dr. J. You look at, Patrick Ewing. I don't know if Michael would or if Michael can, but you know what I'm saying? But, you think about some of those guys, the 80s, 90s basketball guys, Iverson, McGrady, Penny Hardaway. Yes, yes.
I don't think Michael.
Not yet, Dom. I think that they're going to take the easy way out. Why not?
Yeah.
One design, boom. I mean, it makes a ton of sense to go ahead and do it that way. With football, right? They start throwing in some of the old timers that are still around. You get, Terry Bradshaw, you get Joe Montana, you get Jim Kelly, you get Marino. You figure those quarterback guys. You get some of those old, you get some of those running backs, maybe Eric Dickerson, maybe, what was the, Marshall kid? What the hell was his name? Can't remember. You get Randy Moss,
Yeah.
so it almost makes sense that you would potentially want to do an archives or a heritage type thing where you could pull in a bunch of those older, players' autographs.
If they don't do that type, they might do the what is that? The archive signature series. I can see him doing that for the active and retired players.
Oh, that's true.
If they don't do the regular heritage or archives, I can see him doing that because that would be a little bit easier for him. And will they do? Okay, so here's another one. I'm looking it up now. You have Topps Baseball Pro Debut. Do you do anything for that for basketball and football?
You could now because you got Bowman.
Sure. Well, you have Bowman for baseball though. So they do both. What are they going to do? I can't see them doing that. I can't. But Pro Debut this year is ridiculous. They want 189 for a hobby box, which normally they're one of the.
Weren't they
like
below 100 for the most time?
Yeah, they were like $89.
People have been paying high prices for football, and NBA only care about current players.
That's true.
I mean, yeah, I don't disagree with you. I don't disagree.
Because they were chasing the Wemby, they were chasing. Now it's who is it this year?
Cooper Flag.
Yeah, Cooper Flag. So I mean,
yeah.
So it's
welcome back.
Interesting to see what they do with. I mean, you have flags. If they do a second series, do they even call it that though? That's the question. I'm curious. I don't think they do. I'm curious what they call. I'll get my.
So they're not calling. They're not going ahead and calling basketball series 1, right?
No, it's just Topps Basketball Hobby Jumbos. So yeah, they're not doing series 1 or anything. So that's what we were talking about, Dom. Throw back to old sets like they do in baseball.
Yeah.
If they don't do that, I could see them do the archives signature series for both of them.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting where it goes. Going to be very interesting to see how when you look at if I'm assuming they're going to be out in the wild, so they're going to be at your Targets and at your Walmarts. It's going to be interesting to see. Maybe not this year. I think to me, year 1, year 2. I don't know how much we can take away from it in the hobby as far as the sustainability and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean you'll see the blasters in a basketball in Walmarts and Targets. I can guarantee that.
Well, yeah, you will, but I think the big difference you're going to have right now is they're going to sell out.
Oh yeah.
They're not going to be sitting on the shelf at the end of the season like you see. Like you still see Panini when you still see Panini products out there, right?
I went to my Walmart this Friday. He was stocking. He had one baseball, which was mega boxes of Chrome, and that was it to load the shelves. And everything else was old football from Panini. I'm like, the shelves nothing but basically football.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous. Or basketball.
By me, yeah, by me, the one that has the largest card section, they probably have, I would say, easily 16 if not 20 feet worth of cards. And between your Magic, Yu-Gi-Oh, basketball, and football, that takes up probably 90% of it. You have, then you
Yeah.
probably have about 5% of 5, 6% is, they have NASCAR, they have UFC, they have some wrestling, they have hockey, they have chrome tennis. Really? They have live, they have live basketball, live golf. Then they have like, some of the non-football stuff, but like Squishmallow, and I think, they have some Star Wars and
Yeah.
those types of things.
It's and when I went to Target today, I was trying to find baseball. I saw basketball, a couple football, but mainly it was all basketball. And then they had the football they had was Ohio State. Why? I'm in Pennsylvania. Why is there an Ohio State blaster sitting there? Like, were you couldn't sell them in Ohio?
No, of course not. But so when I last went, from a baseball perspective, they had some chrome, but they still had even Prism baseball, which you're getting nobody.
Right.
I mean, Prism baseball, you're getting, you're getting your old retired players. Excuse me. But you're not getting any of your MLB. I think, there's a handful, of MLB players that you can get in those Prism boxes. Everything else is going to wind up
Right. I'm
being,
letting my dog
minor
out.
league guys, from that standpoint. But I don't know what they're going to do. I mean, it's the like I even watched, like, even watching some of the videos that come up as potentials to watch and stuff.
Yeah.
Man, there's not really a lot out there, you know,
No.
about opening packs and stuff like that type of stuff.
Mm-mm.
A lot of it is there. A lot of it is more like, the drama shit. Not necessarily the drama stuff, but just, this guy wants to open up a card shop, and he's touring the country to figure out what city he's gonna go to, and and then, they're doing videos of being at card shows. I mean, man, back in September last month, they had Culture Collision here in Atlanta. They had it. It was once a year in February. Then 2 years ago, they added September. And 2 years ago, we went September. It was okay. We missed February this year, and I was like, oh, I think maybe we'll catch Culture Collision because it's a bigger show to go to. You'll have a better shot, at some of your, lower end, dollar boxes, 50-cent boxes, those types of things. The normal shows that bounce around the hotels here, for the most part, they're, I don't know, 50 tables, but out of 50 tables, it's 45 to 48 of the same people. And
Right.
it's the same
Yeah.
inventory.
And
It's not
when
even
you're
like
looking
they
at
have it's not even like they have one stack of inventory, for the even months and one stack of inventory for the odd number months, right? They
no,
just bring the
and
same
I, and
crap.
I
You're like, I could have sworn I saw
and
this
I
last
wouldn't be
month.
surprised if 20 to 25 of those tables were Pokemon.
Yeah. Yeah. And a lot of them are
And then
Pokemon, stuff like that. Well, I was watching a video, Jeff, everybody's favorite card collector, uh, Jeff Wilson, the sports card investor, had a table, and he was showing some of, when he was showing his videos and he was showing his, making deals with people.
yeah, I'll be right back, bud.
You got it, man. You look out, past his table and stuff like that, and there was so much empty space. It was ridiculous. Like, I bet you they had a hard time freaking giving tables away. So, it's the whole thing is, it's, starting to Hey, Big John, how you doing? Happy birthday, sir. You haven't seen baseball in your Target in months. Yeah. Or you can go to your LCS and you'll definitely see it there. But I mean, we're talking, Tops's product, what we think's gonna what, trying to, hypothesize uh about, you know, NBA product from Tops and football product from Tops. You're just trying to get an idea of, do we think that they're going to um, come out with higher end stuff compared to what Panini had, you know, coming out with, immaculate or what's the other one, flawless, and those types of things. Hey, Vegas Sean Rips has a video that Coles has baseball cards. Really? Wow. That's not surprising. I mean, you know, when I was in North Carolina, not this year, but last year, I had to go to the hardware store to pick up something, and it was sports cards in Ace True Value.
Yes. It depends on where you're at, though, because I've checked my Kohl's here and the 1/8 hardware, and they've had neither of them had it.
Wow, I did
So
not
I think it just depends on where you're
region.
at.
Well, if they're in Houston area, it doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, I mean, it's Houston.
Yeah.
I will tell everybody in the chat right now, Target does have the holiday megas on their site for $29.99. Just a heads up.
Yeah, I mean, look, 100 cards for $30. When you break it down that way, you know, on a per card price, when it only comes out as that option of mega boxes, I mean, your per card value is not bad.
No, it's not. And you're getting, if you don't get any doubles, you get half the set.
Right.
Well,
Right.
give or take, because you got all the metallic cards. But I mean, technically, you could get half the set.
Yeah.
And the holiday advent counters on Blowout are now up to $129.
Wow. Wow.
I would not buy it.
Has a ton of stuff, just crappy baseball. Well, your Target had no baseball. You were unhappy.
You're unhappy that Ace
And
had
now
it.
you're unhappy that Ace has crappy baseball. What good baseball were you looking for? But yeah, I mean, it's
Sean Dick does have them, but they will not ship, which is ridiculous.
Yeah. I don't know.
But
I think as we, as you, like I was saying, when I look now, and I look at, I look at the videos, that pop up, right? Like if I go to YouTube, that pop up for me to go ahead, and look at, let's see, spitballing cards. That's a card show. That's a card show like this and everything. Jeff Wilson show about going ahead and owning a card shop. Live breaks from Run Good Life. So you can watch live breaks.
right.
But everything is I graded the cards with this. I graded the cards with PSA, and then I cracked it, and I graded it with SGC, and I cracked it and BGS, so on. There's those types of stuff. I just think so. Striker did a video 4 days ago, 1995 sealed Topps basketball card box.
Wow.
Found after 30 years. But like I was saying, I mean, when you look at, like when I look at the videos that are coming up, for me to do, it's you know, Showcase Showdown, 1975, tops,
Yeah.
Hitman. Oh, we hired a new breaker, Triple Crown. Uh, you know, Chantilly Card Show. It's like you don't see you don't see a
Just
lot of, what do you call it?
uh,
Openings
Sean,
and stuff.
also check your Best Buy. Best Buy also sells baseball cards. So another place for you, brother.
So you want Panini
Don-
baseball cards?
When you did ask him what he wanted, he said, I think that's responding to his non-Panini baseball cards. Well, obviously his Ace Hardware had nothing but Panini product, is what I'm
Gotcha.
getting at. I'm thinking,
Does the
yeah, Barnes and
CEO
Noble.
have
Yeah.
a website for grading? Mike is right over there. He's on IG. He does not have a website. Barnes and Noble. Yep. Yep.
There's a lot of stores you wouldn't think have baseball cards that do.
Yeah. And Cracker Barrel.
Right about Five Below has them too.
Five Below. CVS.
I haven't yet to find any at my CVS.
Walgreens. Walgreens will have some of them. Fanny is the only one making retail.
As far as pushing a bunch of it out, yes.
Yeah.
There is some Topps baseball scattered through it, but not as much. And I watched a couple openings of Diamond Icons. I was not impressed. I was not for the price.
No. But that's just it. I mean, you just the statement you just made. Not impressed for the price. In all reality, if you really would, I mean, and it would take too long because you'd really have to go ahead and probably, like sit in a quiet place and try and figure out when was the last time you saw a product that was worth the price on a consistent basis. I'm not talking about I opened up Panini, 1-of-1 and I got a Wemby or I got a LeBron, so I'm not talking about one of those types of things, right? When was the last time where you consistently saw from blasters to megas, even if it was hanger boxes, with tops and everything, or even, for football, when was the last time we really saw anything where you go, my gosh, you go and you buy this stuff. If you see it, you buy it.
Yeah.
WWE Select. That might be one of the few. Right. But it's a non-sport. I mean, that's a non-sport card, right? Not your football, not your baseball, not your basketball. You're just not sitting there going, wow.
Remember back in the day, you'd hear guys say that if you find this on shelf, buy it. I have not heard that probably in the last 3 to 5 years.
Yeah. Yeah. It has gotten to that point. And the funny thing is this, right? The ability to go ahead and get something decent has done this, while the price has done this.
Yeah,
that's the scary.
And there is not a product out there today that you will get a decent ROI on. There's not. Like I watched Pac-Man open one box of Diamond Icons. The best card he got out of that was a Nolan Ryan autograph. And that's maybe $400 or $500 tops. Everything else is a bunch of no names.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like
Five Below. You've seen them at Five Below. What do they normally have?
A lot of their stuff is football, but I have been told they occasionally do get some baseball in. But again, I went to mine and they said they had, this was like last year. They said they had some football, but they had sold out. They were waiting to get more in, but it's a hit or miss with that, kind of thing. So,
hey, and if you go, at least you have a shot of maybe getting, some a nostalgic piece of candy.
Yeah,
You
that
know,
is kind of cool there.
you go there, you know, and you get something that you won't, you don't,
You do open football, right, Mike?
huh?
You open football, right?
Mm-hmm.
Have you opened any of the Panini holiday tins? The little, like, they look like blasters.
No.
Not yet? Okay. So I saw somebody. They said you can open them. You can find like the kabooms in them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like specialized. They're not the same as the others. They're different.
Mm.
So I'm like, I was at my house yesterday, and he had a bunch of them. They're like $20 a piece. I'm like, do I get one? I said, I think I'll wait till Friday and see if they still have them.
Yeah, I'll have to look for those. I mean, I didn't.
Like,
I don't. I mean, I've heard of them. I went out.
I haven't seen them in any retail store.
Yeah,
yet,
I was gonna say I looked. I heard about them. I looked for them, but didn't see them. But I could see uh, giving one a shot if the price is okay and everything. But you mean you got to go ahead and just be like, whatever. No,
Yeah.
it is sad when you have to like lower your expectations so low when you're opening something.
They used to be up here. Now they're down here somewhere.
Like even that box of Optic that I opened, I threw the video up for today. I was like, man, Optic is usually, like, wow. It's like, maybe the best card was a freaking LeBron James insert card.
That's kind of the way I thought about the holiday. It was like, it's cool. Open it. I love holiday and release every. I was not super impressed this year. Not with. There's too much going on. You have the so many different types of the snowflake one, as they call it, with the glitter on it. There's the backs are now short prints. The fronts are short prints. It's like, couldn't you just keep it the same as last year and the years before?
Yeah, I mean, I bought a few, but I bought like I've been since either 21, either since 20 or 21. I've gone ahead and I've put some holiday megas aside, just like in one of my bins. So I think I have like 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. So a couple of mine a couple of the megas that I got, they'll go in there and stuff.
Yeah.
From that
I mean,
standpoint.
we know you bought a case. It's okay, but
Yeah, I wish I bought a case. I like do a case. I'm doing a case break.
Of holiday. There you go. I'd actually probably get it on that. There's a chance you might get an autograph.
A case break, a holiday probably wouldn't be bad.
Not if you did it either now or like right before Christmas.
Yeah, that probably wouldn't be a horrible, a horrible one to do. But what else are you gonna do? Like I don't, like people are doing. They're doing. I don't know. I haven't seen it, but I want to wait and see. Look at like some of these breakers, like a Run Good Life, RGL, and and Leighton, and some of these other ones. They gotta have basketball. They gotta have NBA basketball, even as paper product as breaks. And they'll do cases. But it's gonna be interesting to see what teams are going for.
Oh,
How much of the Lakers going to go for? What? You know what I'm saying? Like Dallas, the Lakers.
Who does Cooper play for?
Dallas.
Because whoever Cooper plays for, that's going to go through the head.
Yeah.
Through the roof.
So that Mavericks will go through. Wemby will go through because you can potentially get a Wemby autograph on a licensed card, right? All his other autographs before this. So you think about it, all his other autographs before this on a Topps product were not licensed, and he was not signing for Panini because he signed exclusive with Fanatics.
Because even his Allen Ginter card isn't licensed. The Allen and Ginter card got it we had.
Yeah. So like I said, it'll be interesting to see when you look at some of these players, some of the ones that are out there. Like I said, I could see them going nuts, on some of this stuff. Oklahoma City, I could see their team going for crazy dollars.
Can you hear me now?
I hear you.
All right. Yeah, as like Wemby's last card, I think autograph was the Allen and Ginter one he had.
Yeah, probably.
That's not licensed at that time.
Right. So it's going to be interesting to see what they're going to do. I sit back and I'm like, wow, you look at where the hobby was, and it's funny, you look at there was lack of excitement because I don't think, just because it was, you look at, 16, 17, 18, even into 19, right? There wasn't the hobby was, but it wasn't, 2020 happened, and all of a sudden the excitement about the hobby went through the flipping. It went past the moon. It went past Jupiter. It went all the way out friggin' it went past Neptune. If Uranus was out there, it would have gone out past Uranus. Right? You know what I'm saying?
And the prices went through the roof.
Right. You know what I'm saying? The excitement and everything was absolutely crazy. And now you look at where you are again now, and it's like
5 years later, and it's because you used to have I do breaks, Hollis used to do breaks, Mike used to do breaks, you did a couple, I know that, and now you're lucky if you see any of them doing breaks.
Right. Well, because it's so damn hard. Because what are you going to do them on? Are you going to do 2 hobby boxes? You know what I'm saying? So if you're gonna do, you got to do, a case, a half a case. A case is 12. So if you were going to do a basketball break, you want to do a half a case of basketball at 200. So you're talking, 1,200 bucks. You gotta hope that if you throw that shit up for auction, or if you're picking teams, that you get the people that are gonna want to be a part of it.
Because you look at a case of, say, Holiday, $780 minus shipping. It's not for shipping at all.
And is that what, 20? That 20 megas?
Yeah.
Yeah.
20 megas for that price. Now you can get it at $775, but that's still like anything $700 and over. You're gonna have to charge a little bit more just to try to make some money.
Well,
I'm not all about making a ton of money.
Well,
if I made $100 a case, I'd be happy.
Yeah,
it's just the way I am.
So you got to figure, if you were to buy a case, and do they throw shipping in at least for you?
If I do a blowout, yes.
All right. So if you charge $775, there's 30 baseball teams. You got to sell each team for about $26. That just gets you even on the case.
You're looking at probably closer to 30 to 32 if you had the shipping and all your sleeves, and
you're definitely talking 32, especially if you did it now, because USPS has upped all their rates to holiday rates. Their rates don't come down until the 3rd week of January.
Yeah.
So even on pirate ship.
Yeah.
Right. If I were to go to pirate ship, and I were to have, let's see, let's just say, I was going to, out to California, a 6x9 envelope will say 8 ounces. If I had to ship that today, my price on pirate ship is $5.37.
Wow.
For an 8 ounce package.
Normally it'd be like 3 something.
So at 26, right? 26 plus another 550. So now you're at, 3150, and you're not taking into consideration any of your supplies.
Yeah.
Now,
See,
I never take supplies into consideration when I'm doing it because I buy them, I write them off as a business expense, right? So I kind of, and I don't know whether that's right or wrong, but like shipping supplies, I never really think about the supplies. The actual shipping, yes, but the supplies, no, right?
kind of integrated into the price already, kind of like
Well,
that's
because
how I never charged for it either.
yeah, I mean, it's written off and stuff like that, and to me, from that standpoint, you know, um,
But and who's going to pay $33 a team for holiday?
right.
Would you get a few? You would. Would you sell out? Probably not.
Well, it's going to be hard because, the smart person, number one, are you going to do random team or are you going to do, I mean, you can only do 33, let's say, a team if you're going to do random.
Right.
And then to sit there and try and
Because
figure out, well, the Dodgers got to be 45. So, okay. So I was at just let's say it's 35 a team. All right. My Dodgers are at, 45. All right. So then that means I could make, Colorado 25
right.
because it still has to average out to that same number. It
Right.
still has to average out to 35 a team.
Yeah.
You
That's
know,
why I never did pick your teams unless it was just like 3 or 4 guys getting together. But because if you do, it's just so much work put into it.
wow. You must have did something wrong, bro.
Well,
Did you go ahead? Did you put 8 pounds instead of 8 ounces?
did you ship it through UPS? I mean, FedEx overnight.
So so for for the person, so for the person trying to do breaks on the, and now it's scary that a $200 a $30 box or a $775 case is, I'm breaking lower end the product.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But for those people that want to do that type of thing, if you're a Run Good Life, if you're a Leighton, if you're a Louisville Sports Cards, if you're a Blaze, if you're, those people, you can get away with doing it and you'll get people to buy in and, and not, go crazy or anything, right? They won't bitch and moan and go crazy on you, right?
Right.
But the the little guy, it's going to be hard. Like when you take even if you could do eBay breaks and you would buy a case of Holiday and you would have put the teams up there and you're going to put them up for auction. I mean, my gosh, are you going to start at $5 and hope to God that half your teams make it over 35?
You gotta hope.
Extended area UPS.
Wow.
Round. Oh, you going to the friggin' sticks of Texas? You going all the way out there, West Texas, where it's tumbleweeds, cactus, and every now and again a cowboy.
He's shipping to the border.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at Midwest Cards. They have the advent calendars, case of them. It's only 8 boxes, $700. There's no way you could sell that type of a breakout. No, not with only 8 boxes. At least 20 boxes, you have a shot. The other ones, it's just you can't do breaks anymore. And I think that's why you don't see so many of them out there, unless you're one of the big guys, like you said, a Leighton and Run Good Life, or the one I used to watch was Chomps. The guys who got a consistent 50, 60 people stream at a time, yeah, you could.
Right.
But even on the Chomps, I've seen them try to push it because they can't sell. Or sell them out, should I say.
Yeah.
So then they do the what are the fillers.
Yeah.
So I mean, and I'm not getting into all that crap.
Oh yeah.
So I stick with either a rip and ship or I rip it myself or the other. It's just easier.
Yeah, you know, it has become a lot hard. I mean, it has changed so much. You know, like I said, even just for me, when when you look at this, not doing anything special, trying to do stuff like that. I mean, what hurt me the most was getting thrown off of eBay. Was at least I was selling out my breaks on eBay. Now I may have sold a bunch of teams at 4.99, which I was kind of sort of like I didn't care, to be honest with you, but at least sold them. So I might have done that. Um, but then I had other times where I would do a break at everything, and you know a couple of guys based off of the product that I had, they wanted one team in it, and it went up to 75, $80. It's like, okay, well, if I get that for that team, I can handle 3 or 4, $5, $6 teams. I'm okay with that. So that was the chance, but at least it was, I was, I mean, I didn't do many of them. I forgot how many I did, but I was getting to the point to where I was getting a bunch of the same people coming back and going on and trying, and going for their teams and stuff. And then Fanatics laid the hammer down on eBay, and eBay was like, "Hey, sorry." And I've tried to go ahead and get back on, but the application and all the shit you got to put on it, it's like, yeah,
It ain't worth your time at that point.
nah, no, thank you. Have fun. Bye bye. From that standpoint. So,
Wow. I
I don't
mean,
know.
you look at Artie. I talked to him and he's like, I won't be doing any for a while because I'm trying to spend time with my kid and get my house fixed, and plus the prices of the cards. Because I can't bring myself to buy them and then overcharge you guys for something that I don't think is worth it.
Exactly. That's the rub. That's the piece, right? That's where we're talking about from the standpoint of is in that. I mean, even when you look at it, I forgot what did Louisville Sports Cards was having what was it? Was it Chrome? Chrome baseball, I think. And the Angels were available. So I was like, well, Mike's favorite player is Mike Trout. So I'll go ahead and get in there and see, who knows, maybe, you get lucky and stuff. I mean, I forgot what he was doing. I think it was like a half a case of hobby. I think they had the Angels for like $60. I was like, all right, Louisville, I like those guys. I've done business with those guys before. I've made trades with them. There's all this other kind of stuff. So I was like, all right, I'll go ahead and I'll do it and everything. And I think I got, I mean, I hit one autograph. Actually, it was a Bowman. It was Bowman Chrome. I hit one autograph of one of their Bowman guys, but I was like, who the hell is that guy? And I looked at the list. He's like 15th ranked prospect in for the Angels. And I'm like, holy shit. Whoop de flippin' do. Woohoo.
I got $1 autograph.
So I was like, but I mean, I was gambling that, I get at least, I get at least, I don't know, I'm not even gonna say a Trout autograph, but a, a I don't know, a numbered, a purple to 150, just even a base purple to 150. I was hoping for something along those lines. But that's that's where we are and everything.
Well, you look at so I know it's this is sports, but you look at the Disney and the SpongeBob boxes they came out with. SpongeBob is a $600 box, hobby box, for I think it's 20 packs. All because you can get the people who voice them their autograph. What the freaking do?
Yeah. You get a SpongeBob autograph, but it's not even yeah. I mean, yeah. I don't know. I mean, I did buy I don't know, let's see where it is. That white box right there. I think that's like a mega box that I bought off of eBay of off of Disney. I found one at a really good price. I was like, all right, I'll give it a shot.
I think you'll do better with a Disney one than you would a
make a couple of make a couple of videos out of it and stuff like that. I'll split the mega box up, and stuff like that. But it's just, I mean, it's crazy. SpongeBob going for that much, Disney going for that. It's like, man, I mean, I just don't. Now, I mean, I haven't seen. I know Topps has Marvel now.
Yeah, I haven't seen that out.
I haven't seen it, but if SpongeBob is going for freaking $500-$600 a box, what the hell's Marvel going to go for?
You're probably looking at closer to $700 or $800, if not $1,000.
Yeah.
I mean, I mean, even GPK Garbage Pail's going up. Like their last release, normally their boxes are like $90. Was $149 this time.
Yeah, and what's the draw of them still?
I don't know.
Like what? Why are people going ahead and going that crazy for GPK?
Because the only autographs you get are the guys who made the card, like drew the art for the cards, and they're in just about all the new sets they came out with.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know.
I know you see a lot more when you go to a show now. I mean, and even holy crap.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. I mean, even like I said, if it's the only, like the card showed ones that come up on my like suggested watch ones now,
right?
There's like 3 or 4 guys that they specialize in Pokemon. Those are the ones that come up on my on my thing. Guys like Hollis are obsessed with that stuff. Yeah. He definitely is. I know Jimmy started to get more into that.
Yeah.
I know Redbeard. I know he was doing that on his Whatnot. I don't know. I mean, I'm not on Whatnot a lot, so I don't know if he still is, how active he still may be.
I don't.
With it. But it gets to the point where it gets hard. A guy like Jimmy, okay, so I think now one of the things is that I noticed like on District for the non-sports breaks that they're doing, they're buying a blaster, they're buying a mega, or they're buying a hobby box. Then they're selling the packs, which makes sense, right? Because how do you do a break on Stranger Things?
True, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That I could see, stuff that's not team related. I could see you doing, if you're going to do a break, the only way you can do it would be by like the certain actor or whatever it is. So selling the packs would actually make sense there. But I just like blowout. I just looked up SpongeBob blaster box, $100.
Wow.
It's been busy, and
that's probably Jimmy. Yeah, which makes sense, right? You got to catch it at the right time. You catch the people, and you can go ahead and you can do well. Yeah. But then I mean, when Mike and I signed up when he was involved in everything. Mike and I signed up for Whatnot, and we did some Whatnot sales. And we didn't get big audience. We got a little audience, and we're putting up cards in, and people are going, "Hey man, you got any numbered cards?" Yeah, I got numbered cards. So I was like, you know what? Let me just see. You start number cards, start at $2, start at $3, up to 20, up to 75, up to 125, 100, or $2.99, so on and so forth. And only one guy bids on it, and you sell for $3, and I'm like, guys, I'm sorry, but I cannot put cards that might be even a $5 card up for $1.
Right.
I mean, I want you guys to be happy, but I can't give you shit away.
Like I'm on TikTok, and there's guys on there that sell that, like,
yeah,
and they're doing like the full size football helmets and jerseys and bats, and their prices really aren't. I mean, they're the one guy, he was doing football helmets, full size football helmets. I think they were $99 each. Autographed football helmets. That's not a bad chance of trying to get something for $100.
Yeah.
For a signed helmet.
Ethan went on there.
Ethan is basically another.
Ethan's on there getting twice as many people.
Ethan's turning into another Jazz.
Where?
And he's like almost like a Jabs, and I love the boy, but his prices are some of his prices are twice what eBay is when he's doing sales. It's just, I don't know if he's a fraud. I wouldn't say that, but he is, and I know he's doing it from his shop, and you got to make money. I do understand that. However, you don't up the prices that much. I mean, he's getting people to buy it, but not me.
Yeah.
More power to him, making his money.
Look, the truth of the matter is this. Anything. You know, these are WWE Icon Tops stickers. I don't know. There's what? 10 packs in here. The truth of the matter is these are worth what someone's willing to pay for.
Exactly.
You know, and that's just it. And, you know, and as a business owner, you know, which Ethan, shop, you know, brick mortar like that, me, a business owner, you know, you see how far you could push the envelope. And if you push it too far when no one's buying,
you bring it back.
Well, you bring it back, you know, and stuff like that. You know, I think
it gives you that, you can find that price point where it basically makes the majority of them happy.
Right. You know, I think, you know, rather than fraud rip-off artists with Ethan, I think, look, he creates some hype, and he has loyal audience, and guys don't want to miss out. And I think, and maybe fraud is not a completely bad word, but to me, if you oversell the value of a card when the reality is, dude, it's not a $20 card. That's a $10 to $12 card. You know, but if you're him and you say, hey guys, this is a $15 card all day long, they're going to believe it, you know.
And
I again,
I don't doubt it, Dom.
Yeah.
But I also see it as he is still a young kid. He's going to learn the hard ways what's going to happen when he starts losing people and so like it's going to happen because it happens to everybody.
Right.
I'm going to buy into Mike's company, you know, 50%, so then we can just start doing breaks.
Right. There you go.
Dom,
no,
you're
I think,
mine.
Yeah, you know, but right. No. I agree, Dom. I'm the exact same way. When he was doing his YouTube stuff and stuff like that, I would get on there and everything, and I'd be like, "Holy cow, man!"
Right.
You know,
and Walken, I agree, and I'm not hating on him either. I go in there and I'll see, and I notice certain prices. And I'm like, you know, I'm not going to pay that price. I mean, he will work with some people. Like I know if I came in, I saw a Soto autograph I wanted, he was asking $100. I could probably talk to him offline, get it for $50. It's the rapport you get with him. However, I just don't like how he runs things sometimes.
No, and look, and that's why I'm saying about not looking up prices and stuff like that, you know, and sometimes look, the truth of the matter is there are still people out there today in this hobby that think it is 2021.
Yes.
They forget that the last number of the year is not a straight number anymore. It's a crooked number. Right.
And I agree with him. He did work off his butt to get where he is.
He is. No, hey, going to school, doing things, all this kind of stuff, everything like that. I go ahead and I get it completely. I don't fault the kid from going ahead and getting where he is and making, having his passion become, his reality. Right.
Right.
Good for him, stuff like that. But I think, again, the truth of the matter is this. It's the audience that starts it.
This is true. If they're buying them at those prices, I do the same thing, honestly.
Right. Well, that is definitely true, Larkin. That is definitely true. They forget that we have a crooked number at the end of the year, not just 21, not a one, not a
Yeah.
straight number. But I think, but again, and that's not, it's not Ethan. I mean, you go and you watch like a Lathan, and you sit there and you go, you're getting what for that team?
Or Jabs. You look at Jabs when he sells his stuff. What he's selling them for?
Yeah.
And he's got a couple hundred people at least in the stream, if not more. And they're all right. Here you go, just throwing their money at him. Like,
I agree, Dom.
Action is my.
Oops, sorry.
Well, just no, I understand that, Dom.
Yeah.
That's like me. I don't want to do that either.
Right. But but the truth, I mean, again, when you get caught up in it, right, and things are going, and and then and in your heart of hearts, that this MJ Melendez, Mini Allen and Ginter Green to 99, when this is a $10 card, but you see people going, oh wow, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 25, right? What do? You go, wow, that card is worth $60. Why is it worth $60? Because when I had a live stream, guess what? Somebody paid me $60 for it because there were 3 guys or 3 girls that wanted it.
Right. Yeah.
So the next time I get one, I'm not going to put it on the market for 30. I'm going to put it on the market for 50, 55.
Right.
From that standpoint. You're right.
And I agree, Larkin. People buy boxes off of DNA for more, and yeah, I agree. And
look,
I'm not saying that. We're not saying that there's nothing wrong with Ethan. What he's doing, he's got his little niche. He's doing great at it. I commend him for that because he's got the shop. He's got the viewers. He's got people that back him up in real life. His mom and dad, his girlfriend, his friends, and all that, which is awesome. It's just you've got to stay at a level where you're not going to push people away.
Very true. Yeah, I and Dom, I think you're right. There's the Larkins, there's the Magnuses, there's hey, look, there's Mike Post, there are all those guys, and there's Arnie when he would do it, his stuff, right? There are guys that are out there, I get it. Season's been around, so on and so forth. Ethan probably also, or not Ethan, anybody who has a shop has to look at things differently.
You do.
They have a lot more skin in the game when you have a building that that, okay, my first X number of dollars profit that I bring in go to keep the lights on and the doors open so more people can come in. Right
Yes,
now, I don't know. Did his father buy the building and he doesn't have? I don't know, but it doesn't. It's immaterial, right? Most of the people aren't like that. Look at Jeff Wilson. He opened up that giant shop right here. 8 miles down the road from where I am. That big building and everything. Bigger, a lot bigger operation, right? And he has to go ahead and he has to sell a lot of stuff. His brakes, after that, they have to sell a lot because of all the employees and all that kind of stuff and everything, right? So it varies from person to person. And Jeff Wilson is not going to go and say, hey, I know you're not going to get much out of that blaster, so I'm going to sell it to you for $20. No, he's going to say, look, everybody's paying 35 or 40 for it. That's what I'm putting it for on my shelf.
As a past shop owner, you've got to look at one. If he rents the building, he's got to pay the rent.
Yep.
You have electricity, the heating and air conditioning. If he has any employees, which I don't think he does, but he might. You got that. You've got stock for your store. You've got the supplies, it's just it can get overwhelming. And I'm sure he uses from his card sales and stuff. Some probably goes to his pocket, but I think a majority of it goes back into the store to keep it running and keep stuff that say that he wouldn't carry that. Okay, well, people would like me to carry it. I'll buy some of it.
Right.
Dom, I am the same way. I like to pay for it as well.
I agree wholeheartedly. I want to do the same thing. I don't have the overhead.
Right.
Right. And stuff like that. From that standpoint, he's not direct. Yeah, so I think what it was, Larkin, I don't know about I think there is something with the cameras. I don't know, but I think it was the that it was available all the time because everything was available, let's say like online and stuff like that. And you could from what I heard, there was going to be this one part, and I don't know if it ever happened, but like you could call the store and the guy answering could, FaceTime you and walk around and show you, cards and stuff like that. Like he wanted to get to that, to that point and stuff like that. I don't know if he's gotten, to that, to that point and everything. It's funny. It's friggin' 8 miles from where I live, and I still haven't gotten there.
I was going to ask you if you'd been there yet.
And the funny thing is I don't have any good excuse not to just go and look. Like it costs a few dollars in gas just to go there. It's not like you have to pay an entrance fee. Like you go to a card show, you have to pay an entrance fee, and then once you do that, you're like, well, shit, I'm here. I paid $20 to get in the door.
I gotta buy something.
Gotta try and buy something, right? You can just go there, walk around, and look and everything, But I think I think the different levels of the different people, different things have to go on.
All right, we got our first.
First bot. Wow.
Get him, Donnie. Get him, Donnie.
It's been a long time since we've had a robot.
So
right, you're right. There are a lot of people who won't, unfortunately, and there are a lot of people that will. I mean, it's
yeah. Look, he's got enough following.
Look, there are people amongst us in the hobby and everything that I won't buy from anymore because of stuff. It's just it's like, you know what? I'm not going to pay my money to that person because when I tried to go ahead and do the right thing by them, I got screwed. Right? From that standpoint. I mean, that's just the way, I'm the same type of thing. I don't have to say nothing. I just, my wallet will do the talking, and stuff like that. I'm going to, give support where I go ahead, I get support. You know what I'm saying? If Dom was going to go ahead and run a breakthrough mic, I'm buying in. Larkin went ahead and did one. I buy in. You're going to do a big break. I'm going to buy in. If I wasn't getting any Topps Holiday, I would have got that. I probably would have got that box from you. So, from that standpoint, you know what I'm saying? Like, when you did like the All-Star stuff, I couldn't find it anywhere. Boom. Done. Taken care of, right? There are certain people, you do things, it's like, trying to get some people to go ahead and come on the show and everything. And there are these three guys that do a podcast. And I talked to all three of them. Two of them at some point in time between episode 1 and 146 were on the Collecting Profit show. I say, hey, let's do a collab. You three 1 week come on my show. Next week I'll come on your show, so on and so forth. And I'm told, well, all right, hey, we'll check it out. We'll see what our guest schedule looks like. Well, that's fair.
It is.
It's very fair.
It's kind of a nonchalant answer to a point, but
wait a minute. Here's the caveat. I've watched their podcast. They don't have guests. They don't have them. Now, you would think if you're going to say something, you don't say that when someone can go ahead and look at your channel and go, I I've watched I've gone through and looked at not full episodes, but parts and pieces of 10 episodes. You haven't had a flipping guest on there. What do you mean you're checking your guest schedule to see if you can fit in? You know?
So I gotta say, if there is one person I would love to have on here with us, besides obviously Dom, would have to be Lockin. If we could ever get him live with us to pick his brain, would be
Locke
awesome.
and I give you Locke and I will open up an invitation right now whenever you want. You don't even have to go ahead. You can we can just see your beautiful logo.
Yep.
You know, I would love. I mean, I would love a guy like Stryker coming on. I would love RGL to come on, but you can't get him because he does his breaks on Wednesday nights.
Yeah.
You know, there are a lot of guys. I went through Instagram and so on and so forth, and over the last 2 weeks, 3 weeks, I've probably sent messages to 8 or 9 different people. You know, I don't care if people say no. I mean, you know, I'm if they say yes, I'm happy. If they say no, I get it.
Have
But
you reached
not
out to Striker at all?
but not even one response. Not even one response. Hey man, not interested. Hey man, I don't really do that kind of stuff. I
Right.
don't just I mean, you seriously, you can't take how long does it take you to type thanks but not interested?
Right.
Is that 10 seconds? I mean, me, it probably takes a minute because I can't spell.
Right. Have you reached out to Striker at all?
No, I think I only got I think I no, I did send an email and I didn't get a response. Because you had told me, said, "Hey man, you should tell him and let him know that I told you." And I did, and I sent him an email. And this would have been a while ago. I haven't tried since then, you know.
I'll reach out to him for you.
But you know what I'm saying? It's just, you know, it's something along, you know, those lines. Like I don't, you know, again, I don't care what I mean, I care what the answer is. I'd be more than happy if whoever I ask says yes, because you know, it's great to sit and talk to people, you know, but I mean, come on, just out of respect for someone in the hobby.
Please
Nah,
answer.
man, not my thing.
Or
Okay.
I can't do it that night, or it's just
Right.
something.
Right. You know, hey, man, you know what? I would love to come on. Wednesday nights doesn't work for me. Okay. You know, can I move to a different night? You know, son, keep the show
Yeah,
going.
I mean, yeah, he does. He does get into striker breaks. I used to until he got to the point where I just couldn't afford them. But he does do a lot of high end stuff with his mixing. He does a lot of mixes with high end stuff.
Right.
And they're usually $100 to $200 a break. For a
But
random team, that's rough.
is he another one of those guys where you got to be part of his Patreon to get in?
Yes.
Yeah. See,
And his
those
Patreon
are hard.
used to be
So you're already paying.
$2.99. Now it's $12.99.
So you're already paying per month, right?
Yeah, it's like I said, it used to be $2.99. Now it's up to $12.99. That's when I dropped out because I couldn't afford $12.99 a month.
Right. So it's $12.99, and then you go ahead and then you pay another $100 for a random team. You know,
Yeah.
look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Of course, TKO for that. TKO. I mean, Bull Rider hobby boxes.
Brandon will be all over that.
I could see
So,
him.
Larkin, you have an open invitation to join us one Wednesday night. Like you said,
Man.
you don't have to have your face.
I don't need a
Just put your
camera.
logo, it's fine.
Just your voice. Your
But
voice.
I will reach out to Striker for you too.
Your voice and your knowledge.
Yeah.
You know.
And you know what? If you come on, maybe I can get Don to come on. The four of us can just sit and BS all night.
Yeah. But it's tough. I mean, and it's funny. Like every now and again, not so much on YouTube, but on my Rumble channel. I actually post to Rumble also. I do the lives to Rumble too. I will get busy that day.
We'll get you here. You're not that busy.
And every now and again, I'll get the email. I watched your content. It's so engaging. It's unbelievable. Man, your enthusiasm that you have. But I know you don't get a lot of engagement. I would love to go ahead and help you get more engagement and get monetized and all this kind of stuff. Yeah, sure. And you know, and here's my telegraph number. Yeah. No. Or I'll get an email. There was one guy emailed me, and I was like, okay, before we even talk, how much? Number one, how much? Number two, is it all bots?
Right.
Like, do I go from 500 subscribers to 2,000 and 1,500 of them aren't real people? You know, they're the make believe shit, because that's not what I want. I don't want to pay for subs. You know.
Right. Exactly. I understand that.
Yeah, I got to do more of it. You know, right now, as you see behind, you know, and everything like that, you know, we are, you know, and if you've seen some of the videos with the house and stuff like that, so it's just right now and doing any kind of a card sale other than eBay. I mean, like, I'm even having a hard time listing new stuff consistently on eBay from a card thing. I mean, I'm doing a lot of, you know, like end listing, sell similar and stuff like that. You know, I was going through cards to come up with, you know, lots of players, you know, whether it be Frank Thomas, Nolan Ryan, Tony Gwynn, you know, Ichiro, like all sort of stuff. You know, I mean, I have two little containers of cards right over there that, you know, I gotta organize to put through the scanner and stuff, and it's just, you know, bunch of crap going on. And it's funny, as we're trying to do the house and all of a sudden I'm working on a freaking brand new auction in Birmingham, which I got, you know, I was there last week. I gotta go next week. I gotta go the middle of November. I have to go, so I'll have another on location, a remote location show. And then in December, I might have to go there for like 11 days.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. While we're trying to go ahead and finalize all the crap with the house and everything, and, you know, and Thanksgiving and a wedding anniversary and 2 weddings.
Wow.
And trying to go ahead and declutter and get stuff because, you know, want to have a garage sale and all this other kind of, it's just, you know. You know,
You are a busy man.
you know, it's, you know, the old proverbial thing, you know, shit flows downhill, and unfortunately they're using the bathroom a lot at the top of this friggin' hill. They won't stop. They won't stop. Lay off the diuretics, people. So, but all right, man. Hey, hour that went. How the hell did we get to an hour and 45 minutes?
I don't know.
Holy shit! But thanks a lot, everybody. We'll be back next week.
Yes. Next week will be a predictions for Saturday Night Main Event, or you
Saturday Night Main Event. So I'm sorry for some of you guys that are here. We'll talk some other stuff. We'll talk some World Series, you know. But the main part of the show, you know, is going to be looking at Saturday night's main event. From that standpoint, I mean, it shouldn't take that long. I mean, because, you know, there's going to be 5 matches. We'll go along. But thanks for hanging out. Much appreciated. Appreciate everybody's support. And catch you guys at the next one.
Stay safe. Treat others how you want to be treated.
Bull's ear, catnip.